in the examination paper that we done in class about a couple of weeks ago, we had a question where they gave you two coordinates and they actually work at the midpoint, and another part they can actually work at the gradient. So we're going to look at both of those parts today. How do we work out the midpoint of 2 points, and how do we work out the gradient of those 2 points? Okay, ready? Right, first of all, if we want to work out the midpoints of these two coordinates here, what we need to do is we need to get the values, the x values, and average them. We need to get the y values and average them. Okay? That's what we need to do. Now let's label this up. x1, y1, x2, y2. Are you happy with that, mister? Okay, x1 plus x2. What's x1 in this case, Mr. Let's have Mr. Saf. x1 is
3
and x2 is 1. So we do 3 add 1. 3 add 1. We have to divide it by 2. So 3 add 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, that's the midpoint for the x. So if now the midpoint for the y's, we have 6 add 2. 6 add 2. So y1 add y2 is 6 add 2. Then we divide that by 2. 6 add 2 is
8.
8 divided by 2 is 4. So the midpoint of these two coordinates is 2, 4. And we finish that question. Done. Okay. That's how you work at the midpoint. I'm going to rub that question off for the moment. Folks, can you copy that question down and give it back to me in a bit, because I need that second part of the board now. Can you copy that down for me, please? This one. I'm going to rub it off. Okay, now we're going to do we'll come back to that question in a bit, inshallah. Right. That's how we work out the midpoints. How do we work out the gradient? First of all, let's think about what the gradient actually is. So when we're thinking about the gradient, we are thinking about the change in the y divided by the change in the x. Okay? Now, how do we represent the change in the y? If you want to work out the difference in the y, how much the y has changed by, what do we do for that one? We have to do y2 minus y1 to work out how much it's changed by, its difference. Divided by the change in x. So in a sense, if you think about your triangle, when you work at that gradient, there's your y part, there's your x part. Okay, change in y, which means the height, change in x means the base. So the change in x will be x2 minus x1. So, Ifra, in this question here, we were adding the x values, dividing by 2, adding the y values, divided by 2. In this one, what we're doing here now, we're not adding the x values, we are
minus.
We're not, and same for the y values, we're minus them, we're dividing. Okay, so let's get the same values out from here. So it says y2 minus y1, so it's 2 minus 6. x2 minus x1. x2 rutaba is 1 and x1 is 3. So it's 1 minus. And that will give you the gradient. The gradient is normally represented by letter M. Okay, so we have 2 minus 6. Okay, who's feeling brave? 2 minus 6. 2 take away 6. So I have 2 pound. I'll use minus 4 on the top. Okay, 1 minus 3, minus 2. Okay, who's feeling more brave and dividing negative numbers? Minus 4 divided by minus 2 gives us an answer of plus 2. So the gradient is equal to plus 2. I'll put the plus only for emphasis only. That's done. So these 2 points have a midpoint of 2, 4. These 2 points, when you join them up, will give you a gradient of plus 2. Done. Was that difficult, folks? No. Right, let's do the other question that was on that side. Let's put that over here now, and then we're going to close this video, the session down, and then we're going to try some questions. Right, one more question then, and then you can do some. Okay? Right, let's get rid of these 2 points from here, and I want you to give me the new points.
2 minus 5.
What do we have? We had 2
minus 5.
minus 5.
1 minus 4.
1 minus 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
We did exactly the same on the other one.
Exactly the same technique. So what I'm going to do, I'll leave the formula on there and rub off this part here. Leave the formula on there and rub off this part over here. And we're going to do the same question with those 2 points there. Okay, remember you got to label them x1. Now, you might be thinking, does it matter which point you label as x1, y1? It doesn't matter. You can call that one x1 and y1 if you like. And that one, yeah? Happy with that? Okay, Ramiz, give me some values now. It says that x1 add x2 divided by 2 for the midpoint. So the x1 is? 2. And then we're going to add to that? 1. Okay. Let's, for the sake of argument, let's make that minus 1. Yeah? Make it a bit more interesting. So we got 2 add minus 1. Divided by 2. Okay, the y values, let's have Hamza. The y2 is? Minus 4. We have to add the y1, which is? Minus 5. Good, thank you. So you have minus 4 and we have to add minus 5. Divide that by 2. Now, this is a bit that sometimes students get a bit confused with. Okay, so you got 2 add minus 1. How do you interpret 2 add minus 1? 2 add minus 1 is the same as saying 2 minus 1. 2 and minus 1. That's one way of looking at it. Okay, because you're going to think what you do. You add it, you minus what you do. Next one, minus 4 add minus 5, which means basically minus 4 and minus 5, which basically means minus 4 and minus 5. So that plus means it's like telling you the first number and then you add onto it the second number, which is negative, so it's basically 2 negatives together. Yeah, minus 4, minus 5. Now let's work this out. So, Mr. Umar at the back, please. 2 minus 1 is? 1. 1 divided by 2 is? You can leave it as a fraction as? A half. Okay, just because we've got a half doesn't mean it's wrong. Another way students get confused, they get fractional answers, they go, oh my god, I got it wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with that in that sense. Okay, let's have something here. Minus 4 minus 5 will give us?
Minus 9.
Minus 9 divided by 2 will give us?
Minus 9 over 2.
Gives us minus 9 over 2. Which can be simplified to as minus 4 and a half. So you can just leave it like this. Yeah? So you got half minus 9 over 2. And I'm going to write over here half minus 4 and a half. There's my 2 coordinates, midpoints. Done. Okay, Mr. Ramiz, are you ready for the next one? Oh, let's get a blue. Okay, to work out the gradient, we've got to work out over the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. Right, okay. So y2 minus y1. Where's y2? y2 is here. Okay, Ramiz, and y1 is here.
Yeah.
So read the values. So y2 is going to be minus 4 take away.
Minus 5.
So you're going to do minus 4 take away minus
5.
5. Good. Okay, let's have Afida. Then the next part on the bottom says x2 minus x1. So here's my x2 here. Here's my x1. So we're going to do minus 1 minus 2. So minus 1 minus 2. Okay, here's another important state of this question, Omar. These two minuses, because they're next to each other, they become a plus. Okay, nothing else becomes a plus. Okay, Rutaba, do these two minuses become plus? Okay, no. Why don't they become plus?
Because they're not next to each other.
Because they're not next to each other. So don't get the two minuses rule confused. The two minuses rule together making a plus, it doesn't apply here. Let's get cracking with this question. So we've got minus 4 and 5 will give us what?
Minus.
So if you have minus 4 add 5, that will give you just simply as 1. And then you have, okay, let's have Saf. Minus 1 minus 2. I owe you 1 and I owe you 2, so I owe you how many?
3.
3, so the answer is minus 3. Okay, in a fractions answer, we don't normally put the minus on the bottom. Let's bring that to the top now. So we said the gradient is equal to either minus a third like this, or the gradient is equal to minus 1 over 3. But we don't normally put the minus on the bottom. It's not wrong to put it on the bottom, but we don't normally do that. So that would be a much more nicer way of writing the same answer over here. Okay, happy with that? Okay folks, I'm going to put 2 questions on the board for those of you who want to practice in your home. And those 2 questions, I want everybody in this class now to do them. Right, let's have a go at those 2 questions. Okay, let's have something nice and simple. First one. Second one. Okay.